What's going on, YouTube? So I want to do a deep dive into 251. Okay. I want to talk about 251. I want to talk about how all these other progressions like the 736, 514, etc., they're all 251 at the end of the day. We're going to talk about like your landing chord. Okay. This is my landing chord right here, A minor 9. That's my landing chord, the F, but I did chords in between to get there. Now, there's going to be different for if you're landing on a major chord or you're landing on that minor chord. So, look at my chords. This is a minor 7 flat 5. Okay, E dominant 7 to a minor. I'm landing on a minor chord. Okay. Minor 7, dominant C, C dominant 7, landing on a major chord. But notice, look, boom. So I like to play different passing chords depending on what chord I'm landing on, because if you play a major progression, let's just say we're in the key of C and I'm going to land on a major chord, the 2 is going to be this D, which is a minor chord. Okay, it's a natural minor chord. I mean, we could change it up. We can make it a dominant 7 chord. We can go outside the realm of the key of C. That's totally fine. But in general, to land on the C, to do a 2, then go to a 5, the 2 is going to be minor. The 5 is going to be major. And then we're going to land on our C. That's for landing on a major chord. But if you notice, if we're going to land on a minor chord, this is a minor chord. Let's say I'm playing in the key of C and I want to land on the 6. The 6 is minor, okay? So, but in the minor scale, the 2 is a diminished chord, okay? The 2 is a diminished chord. And for the 5, I like to play a dominant chord. So the 2 is diminished for a minor chord. Then the 5 is dominant. And then we land on the minor chord. Or you can play a regular minor. Okay? That's totally fine. But I want to get into this. I want to show you in different keys what I'm talking about, and I want to give you things to practice, and I want this to be an in-depth tutorial on how to master 251. But at the same time, I've seen videos on 251, and a lot of them are there's a lot of people that do a great job of breaking down 251, but I think people make it too complicated, and I want to make sure that this video isn't that. If you're a new player and you want to understand 251, or an intermediate player, you want to understand 251, this video is for you. So I want to break it down. So let's start by just giving you in the key of C a progression. Okay. I'm going to give you a 736, 5-4 or 514, and then a 251. That's going to be our progression. Okay. We're going to go start on the 1, then we're going to go 7, 7, 3. Then we're going to go to the 6, which is the minor. Then we're going to go 5, 1, 4, then 2, 5, 1. 2, 5. Then we'll play for our 1. We could play that. Okay. So now, if you notice, the progression says 736, then it says 514, then it's a 251. But all it is in reality is just a 251 in each one. I'll show you why. So if we're in the key of C, the key of C consists of C, D, E, F, G, A, B, back to the C. In degrees, this is the 1, the 2, the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to the 1. Now, if I say I want to play a 7-3-6, right? We start on the 1, but if I say I want to play a 7-3-6, I go to the 7, which is the B, then I go to the 3, which is this E, but then I jump to the 6. So that's a 7-3-6. But in all reality, it's still a 2-5-1. Why? Because our landing chord is this A. So if I land on this A, I can treat that as my main chord, right? So A, if we look at A as a 2-5-1, what is it? It's the B, 2, then it's the E, which is the 5, to the 1. But in the key of C, if we notice, it's the same thing as a 7-3-6. We go 7, 3, 6. So this is how you start to form passing chords within the same key that you're playing in. This is why we do 7-3-6, 5-1-4, 2-5-1. Because you can go outside of your key that you're playing in. So if you're playing in the key of C, the key of C only consists of all the white notes, right? But as you're doing passing chords and you progress in your style, in your jazz, in your gospel, in your neo soul and all that stuff, you'll start to notice that it's okay to go on a rabbit trail a little bit to get to the chord that you really want to get to. That's totally fine. This is a style of playing that works. And in this style of playing, if you notice, the key of C is all white keys. But if you saw me playing the progression, right? 7, 3. Notice I'm playing on my 3. I'm playing this A flat. This A flat isn't consistent with the key of C, but that's okay because it's okay to take notes that are outside of the key to bring this kind of harsh sound. I don't know if harsh is the right word. Grungy sound to land on a smooth sound. Okay? You want to make sure when you're doing these passing chords, you have the tension, that's the word I'm trying to say. You have that tension and then you have that release. This is the styles that are found in gospel, neo soul, jazz, all that stuff. That tension, release, tension, release. So again, 7, 3, 6. So really is a 2-5-1 because look, this is my landing chord. If A is my landing chord, what's the 2 in A? It's the B. What's the 5? It's this E. And then I'm landing here. Hopefully that makes sense. Now let's go to the next one. So that's 7, 3, 6. Then we have a 5, 5, 1. Okay. 4. So now let's look at the 5-1-4. 5 in the key of C is G. So instead of playing a regular G like this, like I said, we can go outside because we're using this as a passing chord to get to our landing chord, which is the landing chord is the F. It's the 4. We want to land on our 4. So if you have a song progression and it plays the C to the A minor to the F, in between you can do these passing chords to land on the chord you want to land on. So 5-1-4, instead of just playing a regular 5 or a G, we can make it minor. Okay? And then we can make it the 7. Okay? So we could play the 5 as a G minor 7. But if you notice, this B flat is not consistent with the key of C. And that's okay. That's okay. We can do this as a passing chord. 5, 1. Notice my 1, G dominant 9, sus 4. Look, this isn't consistent. This note is not consistent with the key of C, but it's okay because it's a passing chord. To land on our 4, or you could do F major 7 or F add 2. So let's do it again. 7, 3, 6, 5, 1, 4. Okay, now notice the 5-1-4 is still a 2-5-1. Let me show you why. Okay, so if F is our landing note in the key of F, what's the 2? It's this G. Okay, then what's the 5? It's this C to our 1. So it's still, even though we're saying in the key of C it's a 5-1-4, within the key of F it's a 2-5-1, if that makes sense. So 5 for the key of C, 5, 1, 4. Okay, but in reality it's still a 2-5-1 because this is our landing chord. If we're landing on this chord, we can do a 2-5-1 to get there. Okay, the 2-5-1 is the G, C, F. Okay, so hopefully that's making sense. Now let's do a actual 2-5-1 within the key of C. So that was the chords we already learned. Then 2, 2. Now let's do 2 like this. I'd rather do a 2 like this. 2, 5, 1. We could do it like that. So the key of C, okay, the 2-5-1 is going to be, what's the 2 in the key of C? It's this D. Okay, then the 5, then the 2 are 1. Now if you notice again, I'm playing chords outside. This chord consists within the key of C. It's all white notes. But then I go to this chord. It's outside the realm of the key of C, this A flat right here. And again, it's totally fine to go outside that realm because we're using it as a passing chord. And as passing chords, when we do gospel music, when we do soul, when we do neo soul, when we do all that stuff, we want that type of tension because it brings a beautiful release. There's a storm that happens and then there's a calmingness that brings you peace. So let's go through it all again. That's our 1. Then we go 7, 3, 6, 5, 1, 4, 2, 5, 2, 5, 1. So hopefully that's making sense to you. If you guys have questions or you need help understanding 2-5-1 a little bit better, just let me know. I would do this. Actually, you know what I do before I go? I want to give you these chords. I want to break down these chords for you, and then I want you to try it in all 12 keys. If you need help with this, I have another video that goes through all 12 keys and it breaks it down, but I want to give this to you in the key of C and give you the chords that I'm playing. Okay, so the first chord I'm playing is our 1, and all we're doing is playing an add 2. Okay, that's it. And then we go to a B minor 7 flat 5 or a half diminished 7 chord. This is what it's called. You might hear half diminished 7, or you might hear a minor 7 flat 5. It's the same thing. Okay, so for this chord, all I'm doing is playing a tritone in my left hand. If you don't know what a tritone is, I'll break it down in another video. I'll leave a link of the videos I'm talking about in the description. But a tritone essentially is three full steps away. So 1, 2, 3, or sorry, 1, 2, 3. That gives you a tritone. And then my right hand's just playing. I'm playing an A, a D, a F, and an A again. Okay? So I'm playing that, and then I play it this way, so all I have to do is just move my thumb. Move my thumb down a half step. Okay? So try to play it this way, so you can just move your thumb down a half step. to that and then play your 3. So you're playing your 7 right here, 7, and then you're playing, moving your thumb, and then you're playing a 3 in your left hand. Okay. Now release this A right here. I sometimes still play it with this A, but I release it. And that gives me a dominant 7 flat 9 chord. Okay. Sorry, right here. You can add the 5 or no 5. Sometimes I add it. Sometimes I just leave it out. It doesn't matter. So that's our 3 to our 6 chord. Now, I just did a video breaking down how to find your minor 9 chords. I love playing minor 9s on 7/3/6s. So this is our minor 9 chord. It's an A, E in the left hand, G, B, C, E in the right hand. Okay, to easily find it, just play add 2 and just walk your thumb down a whole step. And then play the root position in your left hand. That gives you a minor 9 chord. So right there. Okay. Then we do a 5, 1, 4. Now the finger positioning I'm giving you is going to make your life 10 times easier. That's what I want to do. I want to make sure this is easy for you. So this is what we're doing. We're playing this G minor 7 as our 5, 1, 4. All it is you take your G chord, okay? You make it minor, and then you play the 7, which is this F. Now I play this F. I move this G from my right hand, and then I play the F down here. Okay? So, but I play the root position in my left hand. So that gives me my G minor 7 chord. So I play it like this. So all I have to do again is just move my thumb down a half step. I move my thumb to this, and then I play my C. So 5, 1, and then I land on my 4. You can land on your 4 as a F major add 2 or F or F major 7, F major 6. Like, you can land how you want to land, as long as it's consistent with the key of C. You don't have to land consistently with the key of C if you can make it sound good. But so that's our 5, 1, 4, and then for the 2, 5, 1, I keep this F right here. If you play an F major 7, I keep that F major 7. Then for my 2, I play the D in the left hand, 2. And then all I do to get to my 5 is move these 2 fingers down a half step. Okay, and then I play in my left hand my 5. Then I play my 1. So 2, 5, 1. That gives me my 7/3/6, 5, 1, 4, 2, 5, 1 chord progression. And you could try that. Try it with different songs. So if you're playing a song progression that goes from C to the A to the F to the C, implement going from the C to the right there, right? And then just implement trying to do those passing chords. And yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Leave a comment if you need further help with 251s. I'm down to do more videos on passing chords. If you're confused about something, leave a comment. I have links below of my videos where I take you through the 7/3/6, 5/1/4 progressions. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Peace.